Welcome to Indian Institute of Public Administration. You're watching Governance at Work, where we highlight the policies, programs, and reforms that shape India's development journey. Governance at its core is about translating vision into action, strengthening welfare system, expanding opportunities, and ensuring growth reaches every corner of society. Each week, we present key initiatives and success stories that reflect the nation's progress towards Viksit Bharat. Let us begin with this week's major highlights. Heal in India initiative launched to boost medical tourism in India. IIPA organizes the National Conference and Case Study Competition 2025. IIPA conducts a study on community participation in rainwater harvesting, a case study of Delhi. IIPA presents an article on Atmanirbhar Bharat implications for the healthcare sector, including medical education. Mr. Anuj Singh, DM, Moradabad receives the Prime Minister's Excellence Award for Sugmaya Pustakalaya, Moradabad, during the 17th Civil Services Day. With a view to boost medical tourism and promote traditional medicines of India, the government has launched Heal in India initiative. It was launched with an aim to position India as a global medical tourism hub. With this, the government is planning to streamline patient experience by creating a centralized digital platform, also simplifying hospital selection, visa processing, and travel logistics for foreign patients. India offers high-quality healthcare at competitive cost. The country ranks 10th in the Medical Tourism Index and 7th in global wellness tourism. With rising healthcare costs and long wait times in developed nations, India's integrated and affordable approach is gaining global traction. India recorded 1.31 lakh foreign tourist arrivals for medical purposes between January and April 2025, accounting for 4.1% of total foreign tourist arrivals. The medical industry is projected to grow from $18.2 billion in 2025 to $58.2 billion by 2035, with Bangladesh, Iraq, Somalia, Oman, Uzbekistan, and Nigeria among the leading contributors. This initiative aims to attract international patients, especially from Africa, South Asia, and the Middle East. For instance, we have Jane from Kenya seeking medical service for her 6-year-old son suffering from congenital heart defect. She finds treatment expensive and unavailable elsewhere. Now, through Heal in India initiative, she can visit the portal and select a top cardiac hospital, let's say in Chennai. A dedicated online platform under Ayush and Health Ministries helps patients choose hospitals, treatments, and facilitators. Accredited hospitals across India are listed with details on specialties, costs, and success rates. She applies for an e-medical visa with the help from a facilitator. Since it's available to citizens of 171 countries, and these certified agents can help with travel, accommodation, translation, and hospital coordination. The portal also assists with documentation and visa processing. They travel to India, where her son undergoes successful surgery at 1/4 the cost compared to Europe, with shorter wait time and personalized service. They stay in budget hotel near the hospital, arranged by the facilitator. Post-surgery, they receive follow-up care and return home with full recovery. Let's analyze the government strategy for encouraging medical tourism. India already had a reputation for a world-class doctors, advanced medical infrastructure, and affordable treatment. The government capitalized on this by formalizing and branding it under a unified national initiative. A dedicated digital portal was created to connect international patients with accredited hospitals, facilitators, and visa services. This reduced friction and made the process transparent and user-friendly. The e-medical visa were expanded to 171 countries. Visa processing was streamlined to reduce delays and improve patient experience. The government collaborated with private hospitals, Ayush centers, travel agencies, and hospitality providers to create a full service ecosystem. This ensured quality control and scalability. The scheme integrated Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy system to offer holistic healing. This differentiated India from other medical tourism destinations. Focused marketing campaigns were launched in countries with high demand for affordable healthcare, like South Africa, Africa, Middle East, and South Asia. Indian embassies and trade missions are playing a key role in promoting the initiatives. The initiative is aligned with the Viksit Bharat 2047 vision to boost service exports and soft power. It is also strengthening diplomatic ties with countries whose citizens benefit from Indian healthcare. While countries like Thailand and Turkey are popular for cosmetic, dental, or orthopedic surgery, India's key strength lies in diverse specialties. India excels in cardiac care, oncology, orthopedics, fertility, and transplants. India offers some of the lowest treatment costs globally, often one-tenth the price of Western countries. Surgeons and specialists are internationally trained with hospitals accredited by global bodies. Holistic healing. India uniquely blends modern medicines with Ayurveda, yoga, and wellness therapies. Initiatives like Heal in India and e-medical service for 171 countries simplify access. Collaboration with hospitals, hotels, airlines, and facilitators to enhance patient experience is an added advantage. While countries like Thailand and South Korea lead in luxury and cosmetic procedures, India dominates in affordability, diversity of treatment, and holistic care. Its strategic government push and vast medical infrastructure make it a top choice for millions of international patients. India's strategic approach, combining digital access, policy reform, and global outreach, has transformed it into a preferred destination for medical care. The Heal in India initiative not only enhances healthcare diplomacy but also empowers patients worldwide with life-changing treatment at a fraction of global cost. The second National Conference and Case Study Competition 2025 was organized by IIPA. Around 107 participants participated and presented their cases in both offline and online mode. Dr. Rohit Singh, Director, Center for Management Education, All India Management Association; Dr. Ravi Kumar Jain, Director, School of Management, IILM University, Gurugram; Shri Ravi Manji, Director, Institute of Secretariat Training and Management were the keynote speakers. A compendium of abstracts were released during the event. Dr. Shweta Mittal coordinated the program. Recently, a study was conducted by IIPA faculty Dr. Amit Singh on community participation in rainwater harvesting, a case study of Delhi. The study was undertaken to analyze Delhi's water management challenges and assess the effectiveness of the Delhi government's financial assistance scheme for promoting rooftop rainwater harvesting. According to the study, groundwater depletion is severe in Delhi, with some areas losing 2 to 4 meters of water table annually. Encroachment of water bodies is alarming, with 24.19 encroached, the highest in India. Delhi Jal Board initiatives have made rainwater harvesting mandatory for new buildings and provided incentives, rebates, and awareness campaign. By 2022, 8,532 rainwater harvesting systems were installed, but gaps remain, especially in educational institutions and government departments. Community participation is growing, but hampered by lack of awareness, insufficient funds, and poor government-society communication. Most rainwater harvesting systems studied are operational, mainly used for groundwater recharge and limited domestic purposes. Challenges include delay in fund release, inadequate technical knowledge, and maintenance issues. Some key recommendations were also made in the study. To know more about the details of the study, you may access the link below. Let me bring to your attention an interesting article published in the book Perspective on Atmanirbhar Bharat. The article on Atmanirbhar Bharat, implication for the healthcare sector, including medical education, authored by Mr. Manoj Kumar, explores the impact of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Self-Reliant India initiative on India's healthcare sector. including pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and medical education. The program, launched in May 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic, aims not only to revive the economy but also to structurally reform key sectors to make India more self-sufficient and globally competitive. A significant focus lies on the healthcare, with the government substantially increasing budgetary allocation and strengthening schemes like Ayushman Bharat, PMJ, the world's largest public health insurance program. The initiative also promotes domestic manufacturing of pharmaceuticals and medical devices under the Make in India and production-linked incentive schemes, aiming to reduce dependence on imports, especially from China, and position India as a global hub for generic drugs, vaccines, and medical equipment. The chapter also highlights challenges such as higher domestic production costs, infrastructural bottlenecks, and the need for an enabling ecosystem to support research and manufacturing. Nonetheless, it concludes that Atmanirbhar Bharat holds transformative potential by strengthening healthcare delivery, boosting indigenous industries, generating employment, and advancing India's long-term goal of becoming a self-reliant and globally significant healthcare leader. We recommend you to read the article. The link can be found in the description below. Every year on Civil Services Day, the Government of India confers the Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Public Administration to acknowledge the exceptional work of district civil servants and government organizations. Instituted to celebrate and motivate best practices, the award spotlights initiatives that deliver tangible improvements in public services, innovation, and promote citizen-centric governance. Over time, the awards have grown in scope, now covering district, states, and central ministries for their role in implementing flagship schemes, driving reforms, and creating effective governance model. Awardees receive a trophy, citation, and a cash prize, serving both as recognition and inspiration for others to emulate the same. Currently, the awards are presented across categories such as holistic development of districts, aspirational block program, and innovation in public administration. Within the Innovation District category, 2 awards are specifically reserved for district-level initiatives, recognizing pioneering efforts of district level from district collector, district magistrate, deputy commissioner level for various innovations in any field of administration. This year, on the occasion of the 17th Civil Services Day, Mr. Anuj Singh, District Magistrate Moradabad, IS Officer of 2013 batch, received an award from the Prime Minister for Sugmaya Pustakalaya, Moradabad. This is a pioneering inclusive library initiative created to bridge accessibility gaps in education for differently able students. Designed to serve learners with visual, hearing, intellectual, and locomotor disabilities. The libraries offer braille books, audiobooks, tactile maps, and assistive technology to enable inclusive learning. With 32 specially trained educators across 4 centers, the program emphasizes personalized teaching, use of digital tools, and active community participation. By making learning resources accessible to all, Sugmaya Pustakalaya has not only expanded educational opportunities but also emerged as a replicable model of inclusive infrastructure and service delivery. Let's look at the impact of the initiative. Reached and supported over 4,500 differently able learners across Moradabad district, achieved noticeable gains in Braille literacy and signed language proficiency within 3 months, ensured uninterrupted learning through the use of digital tools even during crisis, promoted a strong culture of accessibility and inclusion through continuous community participation, developed a replicable feedback-based model with responsive service delivery systems. In a sense, this initiative has transformed access to education while ensuring inclusive, tech-enabled learning. With its community-driven, replicable model, it stands as a benchmark for accessible education across India. That's all for this edition. We hope you found it informative and engaging. We'll be back soon. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered. This is Governance at Work, powered by Indian Institute of Public Administration.